How is it looking out there?
It's looking great. You know, we ended up with 32 very strong competitors,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it's starting to wind down a little. The top 8 is starting to take form a little, and people are starting to intentionally draw.
Yep.
But yeah, we're excited for this next match, and we have 2 players at 2-1, I believe. So they are playing for a spot in that top 8. They're very much live.
Yeah, everybody at 2-1 is currently still alive. So as Brian mentioned, now we are in the 4th of 5 rounds here at the event. Everybody who is 3-0 can technically draw intentionally twice because there are an even amount of people. They'll be matched up against each other at 3-0, and then when they draw, they'll be matched against the opposing person at 3-0-1. They will solidify themselves at 11 match points and probably wind up getting somewhere around like the 4th through 8th slot at the top 8. But that means that we're going to start seeing some repeat people who are at X and 1 in the event, such as our friend Kevin on the Traverse Rock deck, where we saw him going up against Boros Energy in round number 2 and taking down Liam in 2-1 fashion. He played against John Hubbard, who was another energy player last round and unfortunately lost. But on the left-hand side, we have our friend Charles, who is playing Domain Zoo with the starting Leyline and the traditional Zoo. Talked to Charles before. Leyline of the Guildpact, Tribal Flames, and Wild Nakatl.
Yes, yes. Yeah, we haven't seen this version of the deck in quite a minute.
I'll take 2.
Righty, so...
Cast an Emperor.
Oh, Emperor of Bones.
Yeah, this is going to be that Traverse Rock Golgari style of deck. We start out with a Springleaf Drum, which is one of those Urza Saga targets from the deck, but now we have the Emperor of Bones, so we're going to be able to potentially snag some big things from our graveyard, and those from Kevin's deck that we remember talking about last time were the Overlord of the Balemurk and the Nethergoyf for the big threats.
Yes. Now, I believe Charles has a Flage in hand, which can eventually answer the Emperor of Bones if Kevin doesn't leave up mana to adapt in response.
I've done that. Are you ready for one?
This will be an interesting matchup. Domain Zoo, known for being incredibly aggressive. Like Tom mentioned, you know, you got your Tribal Flames, you got your Kavus that become essentially 2-mana 5/5s. But it is also known for doing a lot of damage to itself, usually. Oh, and we got the combo.
Yeah, we have the Leyline and the Scion. So Leyline's going to make Scion every single color, your land tap for every single mana, and Scion now has a chunk of text on it.
Absolutely. And I wonder if Kevin has mainboard answers to this Leyline. I would assume, being in the colors that Kevin's in, that he probably plays a Haywire Might, just from the Urza Saga. And, you know, like, whenever you play Urza Saga, you tend to include this whole package of 1-mana cards, right? Like we saw the Shadow Spear, you know, Springleaf Drum.
This bobble that Kevin's bobbing now.
Bobble trigger?
Sure.
So bobble hits, upkeep, draws a card. Ooh, Witherbloom Command.
Oh, there we go.
I don't think that's going to be able to hit the Leyline, but this being main deck is interesting. But we are going to Flage away the Emperor of Bones.
CMC 2 or
Yeah, so CMC 2 or less, which unfortunately is definitely not Scion of Draco, and that is hexproof anyway. But we had the Flage coming on down. That's going to take care of the Emperor of Bones.
Yeah.
And no adapt there either.
That's an interesting.
4. 29.
14 to 29.
Interesting why Kevin did not adapt there.
Go ahead.
Looks like Ryan's GOAT is Charles Wynn. 29 life now to 14. Oh, Nihil Spellbomb comes in. That's going to be good at dealing with the Flage, and we're paying the 1 black in order to draw a card off of that. But yeah,
sometimes when Zoo just has these starts, it's just able to run away with the game.
Yeah, I don't know how the Golgari deck is going to deal with this Scion unless you have like a Shield's Edict effect.
Yeah, and those tend to not be main board, or actually we've even seen like less of those, just simply because of the energy decks. Yeah, when you Shield's Edict, then they sack a cat token,
and then they flip their Johnny.
It's but yeah, that's one of the things I mentioned earlier about how format warping energy has been.
All right, so this Nethergoyf now, artifact, creature, and I believe land in the graveyards. This is a 3/4. We need some Goyf dice, so that's what we need.
Oh yeah, we do need some Goyf dice.
Those would be sick. We just tape 2 Goyfs together. Oh, we're flaging here, so is the Goyf only a 2/3? Thought it was a 3/4. This is gonna draw out a response from Kevin. I say all of Charles's creatures are hexproof, so you can't even do like the illegal target thing
Yeah.
to like pump up this Goyf.
You have you
So Charles goes up to 32. More life means he's winning, right? Oh, this is 36. Oh, because you gain 3, but it deals 3 and it has lifelink.
10 to 39.
Maybe it's about time we put an Aether Flux Reservoir or whatever.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you could just win right that. Charles is probably going to wind up hitting 50 life by the time Kevin hits 0. Yeah, from 0 to 50 in 5 turns of Magic the Gathering.
Yeah. it's interesting because when this Leyline was printed, right, it essentially turned this Domain Zoo deck, which was, you know, your fair deck of the format, into having a bit of a combo.
Yeah.
7, is that right?
Yes.
All right, so
Mill
Kevin is in desperation mode here, which is mill 3 cards and then drain your opponent for 2. So this is going to be able to get back a land card from your graveyard, which could be this Urza Saga, could be this basic swamp.
Looks like Kevin has a Saga in hand, but I think in just the current state of the board, the Saga construct plan is too slow.
Bring back the Saga.
I believe Kevin had the Saga in his hand last turn, and if he did not immediately play it, that would suggest to me that the Haywire Might, if there is one, would be is a side card.
Yeah.
Is that would be my immediate priority, is trying to grab this Haywire Might to answer the
2/3
late
again,
line.
right?
All right, so instead we are just going to escape our Goyf. So Nethergoyf comes back as a 2/3. It is ripe for the flaging. However, I mean, it can't necessarily do anything against the Scion of Draco. That's the downside. It doesn't jump. Escape Clause being able to get rid of Delirium just in order to have the Nethergoyf hit the battlefield again. And this Scion of Draco is just putting in work. Like you said, this like 1-2 combo. Oh, okay here. Okay, so one of the things I always forget about is Scion of Draco actually doesn't fly. It's other things that
swinging
usually give it
for
flying.
6.
Yeah.
So this is just going to be, that Nethergoyf was a blocker, but the Tribal Flames came down to deal 5. This Scion of Draco is now going to wind up gaining with this Ragavan coming in now. So 6 life altogether. Kevin's going to wind up going down to 6 himself.
Pass the turn.
Let's see, Kevin should be down to 6. Ragavan stole away Vampire Hexmage, and Charles is looking a little confused about what that card is doing there. But we know what that's for.
Yes. Just realized you could also kind of reset your Saga a little.
You can. You
Yeah.
can remove all the counters, and then...
And technically, it still has the ability, so you could. That's more turns of churning out constructs since it's gained the ability already.
I see. So it's the OG Blood Moon errata onto the Urza Saga now.
I can see it. I can see that coming up maybe in matchups like where you're like Esper Murktide or some one of those matchups where you know your constructs are very valuable.
Once you have the Shadow Spear online.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, Overlord of the Balemurks getting impended. Does that mean we have another? Oh, there's a Hexmage that we mill off at the top. All right, very macabre. So let me see if I can find that special art. I don't see the special art, so
I believe it's just a foil version.
yeah, we're just getting this one. The White Border Mystery Booster.
Water.
Yeah. Just being
Wait, no,
played
that's
as-
not a Fairy Macabre. What is that?
Is that fair, Michael?
No, that's something different. Look at that.
Stack, floated block.
Sure.
Results.
Some sort of edict effect. Is that like a? It was 2 mana.
I'll make a construct.
Okay.
And step.
This is where my my unfortunate love for Pioneer fails me. Is when certain older cards that I don't remember playing with wind up coming into play.
I'm so curious what that card is.
It's an edict effect though, because that answered the Scion, and that is
Yeah.
something very important here. Because now constructs on the battlefield. If there's a Vampire Hexmage, this Dash Ragavan doesn't do a whole lot.
Okay, dash.
Just blocking, trading away. Charles is going to not gain any life because now that Scion is gone. And it looks like Kevin is at 9 instead of 6, according to their live. No, it's at 6. It's upside down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is one of the crux of the Domain Zoo deck. The deck doesn't really have a way to accrue card advantage.
You definitely fetched a bunch.
I'm so curious what that card is.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Is this Accursed Marauder? That's what it is. So it looks very, very similar, but Accursed Marauder. Each player sacrifices a non-token creature, so it's an edict effect on a creature.
Gotcha. Which makes sense. You can
Yeah.
grab it with the Balemurk.
It's basically a Fleshbag Marauder, but it
Yeah.
specifically says non-token, so it gets around that Ajani play.
Yes, exactly. That is very true.
All right, so it looks like here we are going to be getting that Haywire Might, so that is main deck. So Kevin has a slog of Charles's HP to go through, but Charles, he doesn't have a ton on the board right now,
Yeah.
but he's got more life, so that means he's winning, right?
But this is interesting because now that not being a Fairy Macabre means that the graveyard
It's live.
is live.
We need 2 more cards. Oh, and one of them here, this Stubborn Denial, gonna make Kevin pay 1 extra because there is no longer anything on the battlefield to make it ferocious.
Yeah, and I see Charles doing that maybe just to keep Kevin off from making another construct to increase that clock.
Is that a flooded strand on Charles's battlefield as well? Because that also represents Unearthing Flage with
Yep.
this Arena of Glory on the battlefield. But Unearthing Flage would be... There's an Endotha Triome. Okay, so if we fetch for a white land, there's Endotha Triome, Arena of Glory. We can still escape the Flage. Okay. Even if our Leyline dies. Oh, we have a treasure token. We're Gucci. But Kevin is making a hard comeback here. Gets the Vampire Hexmage play, targeting to remove the impending counters from the Overlord. This is Kevin's kind of 1-2 punch combo as well.
Combat. 5. Overlord trigger.
Yep. 38.
Charles says, yeah, I'm at 38. I'll take 5. And getting back the Accursed Marauder, now that we know what that card is. It threw me off because it's the old border foiling, which is A, awesome, and I miss it, but B, the same kind of foiling that's on Fairy Macabre.
It had a bit of a like weird bendy body shape kind of situation.
Yeah, it's all like writhy, and it is a skeleton, zombie instead of a fairy, but still.
I wonder if it's the same artist. It was, I believe, RK Posts that drew Fairy Macabre.
So it's
Oh, nope, so-
Pablo Parentes that does Accursed Marauder, and then
And,
Fairy Macabre
there's
is RK Post.
Yeah.
No, we do not know that off the top of our heads. That was Scryfall. I wish I could just pull that stuff out of nowhere, but... All right, so Kevin now... All right, the shot land coming in from Charles. Kevin has to have... Kevin's tapped out. There's no answer to just Unearth Flage with Arena of Glory attack, yeah?
Yeah, yep, there's no answer.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, Kevin maybe didn't notice that there was the amount of cards that Charles needed to unearth there. That Stubborn Denial play as a bit of a distraction just fuels the graveyard. And Charles win. Takes game number 1 after an impressive combo of the Scion, Leyline, and then the closing out speed of Laige.
Yeah, it's interesting because if Kevin had one more green mana there, which he tapped out for, he could have essentially activated Haywire Mine. That would have given him 2 life, and potentially provided a blocker too. So
Yeah, because we have the construct that was in the way as a blocker.
yeah, so we could have gained the 2 life, and then essentially been like right outside of April.
All right, so from Kevin's side of things, you are playing against a domain deck that is a bunch of creatures, but most importantly, Leyline of the Guildpact. So you are a rock deck. Are you bringing in your anti-enchantment stuff?
Yeah, so I mean, most of the anti-enchantment stuff is also anti-artifact stuff, right? So you got your targets in Scion, you got your Leyline targets, you got your Leyline binding targets, you got a plethora of targets. So, and Domain Zoo, like I said earlier, has trouble gaining card advantage. So you're pretty happy trading 1-for-1 with them, as long as you slow them down. And it's funny because we were talking about Shoot the Sheriff. Shoot the Sheriff actually is able to hit Draco.
Yeah.
Whereas Go for the Throw would not. So
That's
here's the scenario here
true.
where it's actually beneficial.
Yeah. Man, just diversifying your types of removal spells could potentially be the make or break between like winning and losing a game. Because even if you get rid of the Leyline, you still have a 4/4 Scion of Draco that's swinging at you, and at any point in time, like if you play a Ragavan or something, it gains those abilities.
Yes.
So you have to be a little bit careful about what you're going to be doing against that. And then I guess like the big thing too is what is it, blue that gives hexproof to your creatures?
Yes.
That's like the one color that your creatures are not in the domain deck. That's the one that the Leyline really gives to you. So you are still going to be able to shoot the Sheriff the Dragon.
And Domain Zoo actually, funny enough, has recently become a little bit more popular again. Like if you look on MTG Goldfish, I believe it's like the 2nd most popular deck.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Boros Energy being, #1, of course.
I mean, here it's both of them. They're
Yeah.
both 4 decks in the room in a 32-person event, so they're
Yeah.
making up a quarter of the room together.
So maybe Kevin included the Shoot the Sheriff, expecting to see some Domain Zoo. That could be
That'd be pretty sick
Yeah.
meta read. Because I mean, like, what else is like an artifact that you? Oh, Thoughtseize right off the get-go. So we're gonna see what Charles has because he did not have turn 0 Leyline this game. So we are going to be seeing Scion, a Laige, a Lightning Bolt, 3 lands, and what is that card in the middle
I think
there?
that might be the promo.
Oh, it's
Nicodle.
Nicodle.
Yeah, promo Nicodle.
Yeah, Charles pulled me aside before and said that his deck was going to be the more traditional style of Zoo. We saw Tribal Flames in game 1. Wild Nicodle is in here. I don't know if we're going to see the Brawler, but I mean, Wild Nicodle, this card banned in Modern at one point.
Yeah, I heard. Was not playing at the time, but it was pretty early on, right?
Yeah. I mean, for the longest time in older formats, you had Wild Nicodle Curd Ape as your 1-mana 3/3s. And then, like, when you print Ragavan, you look at this on the ban list, and you just go, okay. But yeah, Wild Nicodle very quickly going to wind up being a 3/3 next turn, as long as Charles has a Mountain and a Plains. Kevin, though, with his turn, does just play a Surveil land. Bobble targeting Charles. Let's see what he's working with. Of course, we don't get to see it.
I have 4.
Boo.
We'll be fine. I'll pass.
Have you been here when Kevin Duda has revealed the top card of his opponent's library and revealed it to the camera like this?
I have not. I have not. But as someone commentating, that would be. I wish.
Super handy. Sure. All right, so Nicodle is going to threaten becoming a 3/3 here with a land from Charles, but the Fatal Push is going to be meeting it into the graveyard. So that means that Charles is going to pass. Doesn't quite have a follow-up to that one. We mentioned this deck is stacked full of 2 mana threats. Matt Zhu and I were talking about the merits of running Nicodle, Ragavan, and Cecil Dark Knight in Zoo, because there's a player here that has Cecil in their deck, but the deck has a ton of 2-drops. Charles just doesn't have any of them right now. A Wear Tear from the sideboard here from Charles, and a second Laige. I mean, we saw in the Boros Energy versus Traverse Rock deck how much that Flage and the Grind Fest really put in work. So Kevin seeing multiple Flages, it's going to be a very difficult thing to overcome unless it's followed up by like a Surgical Extraction here. No, it's just Vampire Hexmage.
Interesting.
We are one card away from Escape the Flage, which is my favorite emo 2000s band. But we are still 2 mono away from doing so.
Now I'm wondering if the Lightning Bolts goes to the Hexmage here. Because at this point, the worst case scenario for Charles is Kevin impends next turn. Right? Once you have that Overlord in play, Kevin now has a card advantage engine running rather than Charles being able to, not accrue card advantage with the domain deck. But there is the Wear Tear to answer the Overlord.
We have Wear Tear for Overlord. There's a Flage too that you can cast next turn because there is one more fetch land in Charles's hand. This Surveil here also going to potentially be setting up for Escaped Flage in 2 turns.
Sure, I'll keep on top.
He's keeping it on top though, so he wants to draw whatever that is. So let's see here. Is it fetch Shock Flage and kill the Hexmage?
This is interesting. I wonder if Kevin's purposely baiting this play.
Yes.
Imagine, 2 Flage goes to the graveyard, Kevin exiles the graveyard, right?
Yeah, there's a Nihil spell.
Oh, so he is baiting the play
Yeah,
out.
he's baiting it out hard. Bum, bum, bum.
It's a very, very masterful bait.
Response, I'll sack it.
That's interesting. Is it up to 1 target for the Hexmage?
It is remove counters from a target permanent, I believe.
Play a spell bomb.
There's the spell
Would you
bomb.
need a target? Just
Crack it.
No, this is remove all counters from target permanent.
gotcha.
So yeah. So you can target the Flage, I guess. So yeah, Charles
target,
doesn't gain
or
life.
just any random permanent.
Yeah. Then if there's no counters on it, then nothing gets removed. But the Nihil Spellbomb comes down, and that's going to be huge for what the Zoo deck was trying to do. Now that that Flage plan is off the table, Charles doesn't really have a recourse. He just has 2 pieces of interaction.
Absolutely.
That's all I have.
It makes sense. We like trying to so then probably ideal that at least like a tier 2.
So that trigger?
So right now, we're doing some fetch shenanigans. Kevin is ahead in the game state, even though the board state just looks kind of even. Kevin has a couple of cards in hand. We'll be refueling with this Bauble, just basically cycling that. And Charles is now very hard pressed. You need that Kavu. The Kavu's also sort of your card advantage engine in the deck, and Charles just hasn't had any of the low drops from his deck this game. Might have actually, thinking about it, besides the Nakatl, wonder if the Ragavans came out because Kevin's deck has a bunch of things that can just bounce that Ragavan off of it.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Especially, you play turn 1 Ragavan, your opponent plays, turn 1 Goyf. And suddenly, that your Ragavan is just there. Just there, just, trying to exist. Yeah, we saw that in the match, in the energy matchup, right? When Kevin was playing Liam. And
Sorry. Yeah, that's fine. Artifact enchantment?
All right, Nethergoyf comes down. That's going to be the big engine here from Kevin. So Nethergoyf, 6/7 Nethergoyf.
wow.
That's going to close the game faster than Charles's Scion of Draco did. Still need them Goyf dice. It's been like 5 whole minutes. Where are they? Kyle? Ooh, Wrath of the Skies. All right. So
Feels a little bad, but understandable considering you have to get this Goyf off the table. Give yourself another couple turns.
I guess you're not really doing anything with your mana either, and at this point you're not like getting rid of any of your own low drops, right?
Yeah,
so
this would have been a juicy target with the Urza Saga.
ooh, oh, Emperor of Bones comes down, and that's probably going to be looking at getting one of those Overlords back.
Yeah, absolutely.
A bolt.
Oof.
Yep. So he's going to bolt, force the adapt without the target going down. So
That's a very heads-up play on Charles because you can't really. Kevin has 4 mana up, so he could essentially adapt again in response if he was given the chance to exile something from the graveyard.
Land, creature, artifacts.
Sure.
All right, so the Goyf comes back. That is what the Goyf do.
Yep.
Exiling a bunch of different things, exiling Delirium, but looking at Kevin's deck, it looks like he had things set aside, so I think it's still at least a 5/6. Which means that even Tribal Flames from Charles is not going to be able to take that Goyf down. Leyline Binding is probably the best answer to it. Exile, so.
Just so many reoccurring threats from Kevin, whereas, Domain 2, just not being able to just draw more answers to your opponent's recurring threats is very difficult. So I think the way Domain Zoo wins this matchup is essentially just very proactive hands, very aggressive hands.
Land, creature, sorcery.
The handful of answers doesn't seem like it's paying off very well.
Meanwhile, Kevin has kind of just been chugging through. Kevin has no cards in hand. So both these players are down to like very little resources, and Kevin has been chugging along with what his deck has been able to kind of recycle. And ooh, Laige.
10 to 15.
Yes.
Yeah, that could be the answer that Charles needs.
I missed a little bit of life loss from what Kevin was doing. So Kevin's actually going to go from 13 to 10 off of that. Charles is going to wind up going up to 15, and now Charles is 1 card away from Escape the Laige.
Yeah, that's interesting, because the question is, will this Urza Saga hit Chapter 3 in time? Because I would assume, as part of the Urza Saga package, having a Soul Guide Lantern or Tormod Script, some type of graveyard hand
We
is
did
probably
have the
good.
Spell Bomb early in the game.
Oh, that's true.
though.
So there might be another Spell Bomb in the deck.
Yeah, hopefully there's a second Spell Bomb. There's
Or-
only one Shadow Spear.
That is true. That is true.
But if there isn't, then this Urza Saga is going to have its work cut. I mean, at that point, then maybe you get the Shadow Spear and you start gaining life with
Start
the
racing.
Yeah. Here we go. Escape the Laige.
All 3.
This Goyf is going to have to block.
Go ahead.
Do you know how big the Goyf is? Is it able to block the Flaige?
My turn, I'll make a construct.
I think it's a 6/7,
6/7. Okay.
which means that the Laige,
Muscle.
it needs to be like Laige Bolt. Tribal Flames in and of itself is just lethal at this point. Kevin draws for a turn. We made a construct end of turn, and now here's the big thing: is the Laige is already out of the graveyard. You mentioned this. Urza Saga was a little bit too slow to potentially find a backup piece, and I think it's got to be Shadow Spear.
Yeah, I think we're racing here. I absolutely agree. And if that Goyf is 6/7, the Flaige can't profitably block it. So,
Oh, we went for Bobble. Interesting. So maybe just looking for a removal spell? Oh no, he's thinking about it. Oh, there is a Soul Guide Lantern.
I see. So he's going to make that block for Charles very awkward. Because Charles, unfortunately, with 1 card in hand, I'm assuming Charles does not have too much action going on besides this Laige. Yeah, he has to. Yep, Soul Guide Lantern. If your opponent does not have a graveyard, you have to take out a card in your own graveyard.
All right, he's going to hit one of his many, many fetch lands. So now it's time to see how big this Goyf is going to be rumbling for.
Sure.
Oh, and we have Hexmage. All right, so Kevin had cards in hand. I thought at some point he was empty-handed. He just had his hand not on the screen. So I'm assuming this Goyf is at least a 5/6 because there would have been an attack there if not. All right, so now Charles, you're going to trade your Laige off if you attack, but it also puts Kevin at 1.
So maybe the Shadow Spear is a sideboard card.
It might be.
Yeah.
And it might just not have been brought in this game. Or they just didn't think it was the right time for it. Ashiok? That's not something I anticipated Charles playing.
Want to target you?
4 cards.
Yes. And
Just going to make sure we get more of Charles on the screen.
I'll move to combat. Attack trigger off here.
So Ashiok exiled Kevin's graveyard, which now means that this Nethergoyf is nevermore. And this Laige is going to start poking down these constructs. These constructs only 3/3s. This Nethergoyf is now a 0/1.
Sure.
Yeah, so the construct's now at 2/2, right? Because the one of the constructs have love.
Yep. So this Nethergoyf is now just reduced to being a nothing burger. That is very good sideboard tech there from Charles, bringing in Ashiok.
So I noticed that Kevin did not crack that Soulja Lantern in the turn, and I can only imagine that he's hoping for Fatal Push. And
I think so.
Yeah, the way to crack Soulja Lantern to activate Revolt.
A sacrifice draw card.
Oh, here we go.
Is it Fatal Push?
Is that Path of Peril? He might have brought that in just for all the small little dorks that Charles does not have. Oh, no, it's Emperor Bones and 1 unknown card in hand. All right, we get an Emperor Bones. We could eat our own Nethergoyf, but that's not going to do a whole lot.
Target my Nethergoyf.
Sure.
I guess the best you can do at this point is to make a very awkward attack for Charles, maybe.
I like to go to my end step.
Sure.
I see what's going on. Okay, so essentially,
Just making a blocker.
yeah. So even with the attack trigger for Laige, you kill one thing on the board. That essentially means that Kevin still has 6 power to essentially trade with the Laige.
Got it. So this is 4 from here, 1 from the construct, first strike damage from the Vampire Hexmage, and then 1 power from this Nethergoyf. So
Yep.
no profitable attack here. Although the Nethergoyf is going to be a 0 because this Ashiok
Oh
minus.
yeah, there we go.
So
And that might.
it's still enough to block and
Yeah.
kill the Laige. Oh, Haywire Might getting exiled here.
Well, the
Because we have a 1/1 construct, a 4/4 Emperor, and a 2/1 Vampire Hexmage.
yeah, but on the attack trigger, you would deal the 3, right?
And we deal the 3 to the Hexmage,
Yeah,
and then, yeah, we're only
yeah,
on
you only
5.
5.
All right, Charles. Are you going to do that? Or is there another play to make? Charles has leaned in so far, he is no longer on our camera.
I would declare attackers.
He's going to attacks.
I'll swing here. And trigger.
I guess you want to hit the Hexmage,
Yes, you need to hit the Hexmage to save the Laige.
yeah? Just taking a look at what Charles has.
Oh
in
no, because you
Deal
hit the
3 damage.
you hit the Hexmage. The Goyf becomes a 1/2 again.
Responsible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, gets rid of the counters on the Ashiok. That could have potentially been something that Kevin did last turn. It looks like head in hand, he might be realizing that. We forgot about the
Yeah.
anti-Jace the Mind Sculptor tech. All right, I think Charles has a Wear Tear in hand, though, so this may have been a bait.
Oh, yes, that makes more sense now.
So Wear Tear comes down, takes out the construct. This is going to destroy the Nethergoyf, destroy the Emperor Bones,
Yes.
and potentially destroy Kevin in this game. It's got a Boseiju and
Thoughtseize? Is that Thougeize?
I think it's a Thoughtseize. I think this might be lights out for the Traverse deck. He's stuck between the Rock and a hard place. He's thought seizing Charles. Just hits a land,
I-
extends the hand. That's gonna be it. Charles is going to take the match 2-0.
Yeah.
Doesn't need any card advantage in the Domain Zoo deck if he
Yeah.
just has all the answers in his hand, I guess.
Absolutely. No, Charles drawing Flage there after seeing 2 Flages exiled.